All right. So there has been rumors circulating that Joe Biden might be voting for Donald Trump when it's all said and done. All right. This is from our friend Colin Rugg over at Trending Politics. 10 sources say tensions between the Biden and Harris teams are fraught, with the Biden team purposefully scheduling Biden's events during Harris's. The development comes after President Biden apparently sided with Ron DeSantis over Harris. According to Axios, senior Biden aides are furious that Biden was pushed out of his re-election bid and are unhappy with how they are being treated. Harris aides are accusing the Biden team of not coordinating with them on his schedule to help out the Harris campaign. The White House is lacking someone in the room thinking first and foremost about how things would affect the campaign, a source told Axios. What is this video here?
It's a clip of Biden talking. I don't know.
Okay. Let's go.
That's
to the
him
next
talking
one.
about DeSantis.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. In the next one, a better one. What is
the
it?
Axios article.
Yeah, so this is Axios actually reporting on this. Tensions rise between Harris and Biden team as election nears. You can see them, this is an AI photo, but they're walking away from each other
Charlie Brown
here. I don't know. Comment what you think. Do you think that this is true? Do you think that Biden, in his senile old age, is now trying to get retribution against Kamala Harris in a last-ditch effort to give her the old middle finger there? Comment yes or no. Let's go to New York Post here. I want to see what they have to say. This is the New York Post. Harris staffers blaming Biden admin for not helping her campaign. Quote, they're too much in their feelings. Vice President Kamala Harris staffers are starting to blame the Biden administration for not doing enough to help her presidential campaign, according to a new report, as the Democrats sink in the polls with less than a month before the November 5th election. Despite the veneer of unity that Harris and President Biden have displayed after Biden dropped out of the race, some of their staffers have reportedly been butting heads behind the scenes. And just so you guys know, yes, the person that's elected to office, they're like the figure or whatever. These administrations are ran by the staffers. They just are. Think about it like this. If you are running for Congress and you just are a regular old somebody and you want to support, your country and all this stuff, so you run for Congress and you win. Next thing you know, in January, you're in D.C. Do you have any idea how to vote for a bill? Do you have any idea how to present a bill to the floor? There's no Congress school. There's no president school. There's no anything like that. No, these mid-20-year-old staffers who have been there since they were 18 years old doing internships, they're running the show behind the scenes. And so if the staffers are fighting, that's a real big deal. So I'm starting to believe this more and more and more. Is Joe Biden kind of one last big old screw you, deep state? I'm dying in 3 weeks anyway. What do I got to lose? I'm going to take y'all out with one thing. Do you think it's possible that Joe Biden has one last cognitive ability left to stick it to the Harris campaign? Comment yes or no. Let us know what you think. This is Dave Portnoy. Now, it's a very long video, but we're going to play just a little bit of it. But to summarize, this is what he said before we play the video. If you don't like my political rants, don't watch this. But how can Kamala Harris keep calling herself the candidate of change when she is the sitting VP? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Vote for whoever you want, but I had to point out how crazy it is. P.S. I know people are going to say Trump is the worst candidate of all time, and you're entitled to your opinion, but he has won the nomination 3 times fair and square. Kamala has never had a vote cast for her yet. I couldn't agree more. Let's play this. Let's hear what Dave has to say. We're not going to play all of it, but we'll play a little bit of it. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I don't want to interrupt the video for too long, but I have to tell you about my friends at Birch Gold Group. Listen, we all know the economy is in shambles, and I hate to break it to you, it doesn't look like it's getting any better anytime soon. But there is something that you can do to protect your family by protecting your money. So all you got to do is text the word Graham, that's GRAHAM, to the number 989898 right now. And my friends at Birch Gold Group are going to send you a free 25-page information kit on how gold, silver, and precious metals can help protect your family by protecting your money in these uncertain times. Free information is vital information, so text the word Graham, that's Graham, to 989898 right now.
All right. Every once in a while, I get so fed up with politics, I got to do a rant and just let steam off. I try not to, but I've hit the boiling point. And it's the gaslighting that the left is doing with Kamala Harris, making it sound like she's some great, groundbreaking candidate. She is the worst candidate to ever run for president ever. There's two people voting in this election. Either you're voting for Donald Trump, you like Donald Trump, or you hate Donald Trump and you're voting against him. But Kamala Harris, let's stop it. And what put this over the edge for me? Last week, I'm watching her campaign rally, and she's up there being like, we need to turn the page in America. It's time for a new way forward, and I'm your candidate for change, and they're hooting and hollering.
It's time to turn the page. It's time to turn the page.
It's time to turn the page.
And America is ready for a new way forward.
And then I see her at a rally today, and it's the same message again. Time to turn the page. We need a new generation of leadership.
It is time to turn the page. It is time to turn the page because America is ready to chart a new way forward, ready for a new and optimistic generation of leadership.
This is the sitting vice president of the United States currently saying she's the candidate for change. Okay, fine. And by the way, she has to, because I think 90% of Americans, left or right, I mean, like the last 4 years under Biden, not great. Look at the world stage. Afghanistan was a disaster. The Middle East is basically in flames. You got Russia. Then on the homeland, inflation's out of control. People burning American flags in the street. The defund the police. Law and order doesn't even seem to matter anymore. You got the border, immigration. There's so many issues. Both sides be like, yeah, we need a change from Biden. Probably why the Democrats whacked Biden and installed Kamala Harris as the candidate. So she's like, we need change. We need this. We need that. But at the same time, when she's on her media tour last week, friendly interviews, Alex Cooper called her, hey, Alex, Colbert, The View. And she's being asked the most simplest questions, softballs that she probably knew were coming. Hey, Kamala, how are you different from Joe Biden? What will be different since you are the sitting vice president of the United States now and you're out saying you're the candidate for change? She cannot answer it. She can't answer it. She literally is saying, well, I've pretty much been in every big decision. I'm the same as Joe Biden. I agree with him on everything.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Or she just rumbles and stumbles like, well, I grew up and I worked at McDonald's, and you know how I'm going to be different? My name is not Donald Trump.
Polling shows that a lot of people, especially independent voters, really want this to be a change election, and that they tend to break for you in terms of thinking about change. You are a member of the present administration. Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
And so that would be one change in terms of, but also I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump. And so when we think about the significance,
so the point of this is Dave Portnoy is not what I would call like the biggest Republican conservative in the world. He's none of that, actually. He's had his critiques of Trump. Everybody knows his father absolutely hates Trump, thinks he's the Antichrist, all this stuff above. I think it's safe to say that Dave Portnoy is voting for Donald Trump.
I would think so.
If you think Dave Portnoy is voting for Donald Trump, comment yes or no in this. But the biggest thing of this is even someone like Dave Portnoy is at the fact of Kamala is such a liar and a loser that, I mean, they're borderline left no choice but to vote for Trump at this point. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And two things. The first thing is, I believe that Biden is going to vote against Kamala because
I would be shocked.
Yeah,
I would love to say. I hope he post a picture of it. Like, here's my ballot.
You have to associate what they did to him almost like a manager for a big corporation. Like, here you go. We're going to bring your replacement. I know you've been with the company for 30 years, but here's your replacement, and we're firing you after you train them. That's literally what they're doing. They're literally kicking him to the curb.
Yeah.
And the second thing is she is still going on The View and saying, yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. And I know these last 3.5 years suck, but I wouldn't do anything different. I am responsible for it is pretty much what she's saying.
Yeah.
And people that are still voting for her, it just blows my mind that there's still people that have their blinders on and they cannot see what her and Biden have done, and they're still going out there like she's the next coming. It's just,
well, they're not this. David Portnoy just said it, that it's just like the Biden Trump election. They're not voting for Kamala. They're voting against Trump. That's it. You could put a freaking tractor tire out there running against Donald Trump, and people are going to vote for the tire just because they don't want to vote for Donald Trump, or they're not going to vote at all. Like, I mean, that's what it is.